We have some pretty big breaking news from the NHL. Referee Tim Peel has been banned from ever working in NHL game again. We'll discuss the situation and give you my thoughts coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. Now, as just announced here moments ago as I record this video from the NHL, we have some pretty substantial breaking news. Referee Tim Peel, who was set to retire later next month, a longtime NHL referee, has been banned from working any further NHL games now or in the future, according to NHL Senior Executive Colin Campbell. Now, they've put out a statement on this, which I'll read to you here in just a moment. But in case you're not familiar with what happened, there was what we call a hot mic situation in last night's game between the Nashville Predators and the Detroit Red Wings, where referee Tim Peel was caught on the microphone so everybody could hear. Basically, what Peel said was, I know it wasn't much, I just wanted to get an effing call against Nashville. So it sounded to me like he wanted to make like a makeup call. Now, I wasn't watching that game live. I didn't see anything happen live, so I'm not sure what led to that. It sounded like it was early or midway through the first period. So certainly not a good thing to be caught saying on a microphone or on camera. I mean, clearly we know that makeup calls is something that does exist in the NHL. Unfortunately, it's something that's been there as long as I can remember, and I'm not completely sure this is going to make it go away. I mean, based on the NHL statement here, obviously they don't like what Tim Peel said. They feel it impacts the integrity of the game, and said he's getting a pretty big punishment. Now, of course, I'm not sure if this will impact like a pension or anything for him, but you know, it's not a good look for the league, not a good look for Tim Peel, and just an overall bad situation. But I think as fans, I think we can all sit here and say that we know, we understand that makeup calls are something that's real and exists. We see it regularly. This probably is just the first time that a referee's actually been caught saying it where people could actually hear them. Now, behind closed doors, they probably talk about these things all the time. And just like I said, it's the wrong people catching wind of it, which makes it look bad for the NHL. So they had to come down with a fairly harsh punishment. Now, let's jump in and take a look here at the statement that was just released by the NHL on this situation. It reads here as follows. Nothing is more important than ensuring the integrity of our game, Campbell said. Tim Peel's conduct in direct contradiction to the cornerstone principle that we demand of our officials and of our fans, players, coaches, and all those associated with our game expect and deserve. There is no justification for his comments, no matter the context or his intentions, and the National Hockey League will take any and all steps necessary to protect the integrity of our game. Well, in my opinion, they did not address the fact here that they're going to try to make, makeup calls be a thing of the past. I mean, they did say that they want to take all steps necessary to protect the integrity of the game. So I guess we'll have to see if anything further comes from this in that regard. But really, as much as I agree that what Tim Peel said was wrong, like it's not something that should be done, but we know that it happens. It's something that we've all kind of learned to accept and live with here all the time. I mean, I don't know how many games I've been watching and you see a call and you're like, what? Like, that was a pretty soft call. I'm not even sure that's a penalty, but you know that the other team had been getting too many calls and they were trying to level things out, which really, when you get referees, having an impact on the game like that, I personally don't like it at all. I mean, the players should be the one selling it. If it's a penalty, call it. If it's not, don't. That's just the way I look at it. But, at the end of the day, like I said, we know and understand that this exists, even though a lot of us may not necessarily like it, but some people really don't care if they understand it's part of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how officiating may or may not change in the future, or what will anything further come from this. But like I said, Tim Peel was a longtime referee. I think for the most part, fairly well respected, but obviously this is a bad way for him to go out, kind of tarnishes his reputation. Like I said, he was set to retire later next month in April, so it's an unfortunate way for things to go out for him. But at the end of the day, the NHL felt they needed to do something here in regards to this bad look situation. But I must say, this is pretty harsh, and I did not expect this to happen. I'm not surprised they addressed it. I'm not surprised there was some sort of punishment. But wow, this is pretty severe, and obviously, like I said, we'll see if anything changes with officiating moving forward. I have seen a lot of people comment saying that they would like to see things evolve with officiating, that after games, referees could be made available to answer questions and address certain calls on the ice. I mean, players have to answer the bell. Coaches have to answer the bell. They do media every single day after every single game, and they'd like to see referees, be a little bit more accountable and speak on what decisions they made on the ice when it comes to calls and explain themselves better. In some cases, I think it could help. In other cases, maybe not. But either way, if they're a little bit more accountable that way, some people feel like, that might help things. I'm not really sure how I feel on it. I don't know if we'll ever get the union that represents the referees to ever agree to that. I think in a way it could have some positives, but just not sure that it's going to go down that road. But I'd like to know what you think. Is that something that you feel is something that the NHL should pursue and negotiate into their collective bargaining, that they do need to be more available for media and answer questions? Let me know what you think down below, and we'll discuss further. Give me your thoughts on the punishment here for Tim Peel. Is it justified? Is it too harsh? How is this going to impact makeup calls for the future of the game? Let me know, and we'll discuss further in the comments. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you don't miss any future content. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'd appreciate it if you did. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.